Hello, good afternoon, investor and corporate. Welcome to SET Digital Roadshow 2021 Year-End Performance Review. This section will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start the section by 30-minute presentation, followed by 15-minute Q&A. And during Q&A, investor may leave your question in meeting room chat box or use raise your hand function. Then we will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. So may I now invite WHA Corporation Company Limited to start the presentation, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, investor. Thank you very much for your time to listen to our story today. As we have only 30 minutes, I would need to skip lots of slides here. May I start on page number 5, 2021 performance highlight at a glance. On logistic property development, currently at the end of the year, we got around 2.55 million square meters. In 2021, we obtained 166,000 square meters on net rent of build-to-suit warehouse and RBF RBW, and 176,000 square meters on the short-term contract. On industrial estate development, in 2021, we got the land sale of 891 rights. On utility and powers, utility sale accounted for 135 million cubic meters, and at the end of the year we have 607 installed equity megawatt, which already start commercial operation. On top of that, we have additional 35 megawatt under development and construction. On the digital platform, at the end of the year, we have 3 data center and FTTX covering 9 out of 12 industrial estate in the group and expanding. Okay. On the data center, just put a note here that in 2022, we are on the plan to monetize 2 of the data center. I would have a detail in later slide. Skip to page number 7. Okay. In 2021, the WHA Group, we obtained a number of awards that were noted here. The SET Awards, the WHA Corporation got the Rising Star on Sustainability. The WHA UP got Outstanding Innovative Company Award from the products of demineralized and reclamation water. On the THSI Thailand Sustainability Investment Index, we also get listed for the second year, both the WHA Corporation and the WHA UP. On the CSR Excellent Recognition from American Chamber of Commerce, we have obtained platinum level for 12 consecutive years. On the growth strategy that we delivered throughout 2021, we delivered through a couple of aspects: new investment, new product, new partners, and new projects. New investment, we have invested into 2 startup companies called Logistic and Storage Asia. On new products, we start the solar ESS with the water plant in our industrial estate. The P2P energy platform is already fully developed and ready to scale up. The nitrogen supply to customers, the first customer already received the supply. The new partners aspect. We have signed the JV partnership with Asia Industrial Estate, which is adjacent to our industrial estate in Mataput area, to supply demineralized water to customers within that industrial estate. On the new projects, Mega Logistic project at Tekharak, which is designed to be 400,000 square meters, is already taken off. And some of the buildings, we already have the customers and under construction. The WHA Industrial Zone and Phase 2 is already obtained IRC. And also on industrial estate, the WHARY36 is fully developed with a total area of 1,280 rights. Go to page number 10 on the carbon neutrality. This page is probably new one that we never publicized much in the past. Looking back 2 years, 2019 and 20, we have GHG emission on the scope 1 and scope 2 of plus minus 7 17.5 to 19,000 tons of CO2 equivalent. On the right side, on the other hand, we also have the solar rooftop business, which we sell power from solar directly to industrial customers. And that power would have avoided emission because the customer don't need to use the power from the grid, which is predominantly fossil fuel generation. So it creates around in 2019 is around 1.5 thousand, 2020 is 10.5 thousand, 2021 it have avoid emission of around 26,000. 2021 our own emission it's still under review of the third party, but we expect that it's a similar level as 2019-20. So looking at both, we are now the WHA group. We are now at the point of carbon neutrality. Okay, this is the highlight of the financial in 2021. Looking at the top line, normalized revenue and share profit. And just a note for some of you who not earlier cover us, the normalized revenue and share profit, we taken out the effect from translation and FX gain and loss, taking that out to see only the core operation of the group of the company. On that level, we have 29% increase on the lowest level, normalized net profit, which again taken out FX effect. That's increasing 8%. We stand at 2.7 billion. Looking at four different revenue category, rental property business is quite flat, 0.5% increase. One of the reasons is also because we have quite a sizable asset monetization that taken place which took place in the fourth quarter of 2021. And with that asset monetization transaction, it brings the land business and sale of properties revenue and share profit up 57% on year. On top of the asset monetization, another driver that is clearly observed in the fourth quarter is the recovery of the land transfer. Right? During the first 9 months, the land transfer number is pretty low. Because of the COVID situation and travel restriction that enforced from time to time. But in Q4, it increased a lot, and full year basis, the land transfer has increased 8% from the year earlier. On utility business, increasing 14%, the volume increase is the key driver of this increase. The power business also have very solid 19% increase, very strong contribution from IPP and SPP business. And on top of that, solar business, we continue to have more and more contribution because we have more and more megawatt that start commercial operation. Looking at each business hubs, starting up logistics. This page, just repeating the figures that I already mentioned, 2.55 million square meters end of 2021. Next page showing the key highlight of the major deals that we done in 2021. On the right hand, ครับทางเซตยกมือครับ Okay, let me continue นะครับ On the right hand side, the sector that is still very solid in terms of the demand is consumer, 3PL, express, packaging, and healthcare. These are similar sectors that contribute into our portfolio. And coming back. On the left side, the 400,000 square meters is a project that I mentioned earlier that's located in 400 Right area in prime location of logistic business. On page 18, on page 18, basically is the target that we set for 2022. Just recap that earlier, we mentioned that the long-term contract we get around 166,000 square meters. This year we target 185. we still believe that the momentum of the market and the flow that we see is continue to be solid for the logistic business. On the left-hand side, you see some of the projects in the pipeline that we are actively discussing with the customers and waiting to be wrapped up. Express Industry, 3PL, Logistic Equipment, Express, and on the left, bottom left, you will see the data center, one of the projects that that we observed that there are substantial flows of the new data center to coming into Thailand. And if we achieve that, our asset under own and managed a portfolio would increase into around 2.685 million square meters. On the asset monetization to read, this is to note that this is the activities that we have done this for like a decade and every year. In 2021, we have quite sizable transaction in terms of contribution to P&L. In terms of the square meter that we monetize, it's not that much different, but 2021 happens to be the asset that belongs to our 100% owned portfolio. In 2022, in comparison, we would have asset both in our own asset portfolio and asset under JV company. Okay? And in 2022, we have monetization on both logistic properties to WHA and industrial property to HV. On the logistic property, we earmark around 130 to 150,000 square meters, 3 to 3.5 billion in the asset value. HV. On the ready-built factory and warehouse, we earmark around 40 to 50,000 square meters, asset value around 1 to 1.3 billion Thai baht. But to note here, JV asset. In RT, you will see that it's quite substantial portion. So to be clear, this graph also implied and showing that the contribution in terms of P&L comparing year on year, 2022 would not be as high as 2021. Moving towards the industrial estate business. Currently, we have 11 industrial estates in Thailand and 1 industrial estate in Vietnam. Okay? And in the pipeline, we would have around 3 upcoming industrial estates in Thailand, 2 additional estates in Vietnam, totaling 11,550 in Vietnam, the existing industrial estate, and additional 7,200 in Vietnam. Next page is the land sale. I already tell the figure of 891, but what I would like to highlight here is that if you're looking at the Q4 alone of 2021, land sale we obtained around 605. Full year is 891. So you can see here that the momentum that we always say that we see a lots of demand, very solid inquiry, and now it's really materialized on fourth quarter. At some point in time in fourth quarter, I have to say that we still hope that we could see up as high as 1,000 right of land sale to be closed, but some of the deal has slipped into first quarter. So 891 is the final figures that will show up. Another thing I would like to highlight is the backlog. The backlog here, just to be clear, is the land plot that we already signed in that land sale agreement. In most cases, we already obtained some deposit, and this backlog is waiting to be transferred, and the revenue recognition would incur only when we already transferred. So the deposit that we already obtained is not recognized as a revenue yet. And this 550 value is around 2 billion Thai baht. Let me move to page 30. This is the pipeline that we are planning during the next 5 years นะครับ on average you could see that on average during the next 5 years we would plan to develop around 1,200 right a year on average. In 2022 we have the WHA RY36, the first phase 1,200 right. That's now today it is already ready to sell and transfer. And toward the end of this year, we'll already start construction of the WHA IER phase 1. I have 1,100 right starting this year, and next year we should be start already marketing and trying to sell that industrial estate. 2024 we have another plot that we are planning to do the RBF for the whole the whole estate. 400 right. We cover for 300,000 square meters of ready-built factory, and potentially expansion of the RY36, the second phase. Following year, the Slatburi second phase in 2025 and IER phase 2 in 2026. Having said this, you will see that we have in the pipeline, which we can also adjust it. This pipeline accelerated when the market is very bullish, and maybe decelerated a bit if the market is not as we planned it. I would say that this is the not too aggressive plan, which if the market continue to be bullish like today, potentially we can also accelerate the plan. Coming to Vietnam, we have on page 32. As I mentioned, currently we have one in Nghệ An and two upcoming in Thanh Hua. On next page, in Nghệ An that we highlight 11,500 right. We did not develop everything at once. We divided into phases. The first phase we initiate only 1,000 right, and at the moment it's already completed and already sell more than half of that 1,000 right. Phase 2, 2,100 right. We already obtained all the licenses required and would start construction. Additional 8,400 is under plan. The other location that we are broaden in our investment is the province next to Nghệ An called Thanh Hua. In that location, we plan to develop two industrial estates in parallel. One called the WHA Smart Technology Industrial Zone Thanh Hua. That's 3,400 right, plus additional potential expansion 1,700 right. It's close to city center and proximity to Hanoi, Haiphong, and Deep Sea port. So it's target for, as the name mentioned, the smart technology. For the customers that are looking for access to more skilled, higher skilled labor. On the contrary, on the northern industrial zone, that one is located at proximity to the petrochemical complex in that province called Nison Petrochemical Complex. The one important thing of this petrochemical complex is that it lacks all the intermediate and downstream industry. So the industry that we earmark to be located here is these two groups, plus the other heavy industry to be located in this location. Okay. The target this year, last year we got 891. This year we target 1,250 right. Looking into Thailand, we target 950. Last year we got 850. So not that much difference. Vietnam is the key difference. Last year we get only 41 right that have of land sale agreement. This year we target 300 right. I need to recap that Vietnam in 2021, even though they have quite a not that high level of the COVID infection, new cases each day, but the lockdown in Vietnam last year is very intensive, very strict. Even the transportation inside Vietnam between provinces in many occasions is prohibited, restricted. But this year is opposite. The numbers of the infection in Vietnam has skyrocketed, but the symptom and the numbers of the death toll is quite low. So at the moment, Vietnam already start relaxing the lockdown, and people on the ground is quite now living quite normal life already, and the foreign travel is much easier. So this year, the hurdles we believe will be softened. Plus, this year we would have more products on shelf. Because last year, as I mentioned, first phase one is already half sold. So the products in the shelf is much less. But now with the phase two start development, have more products to offer to the customers also. On utility and power, the key products on water side continue to be industrial water, wastewater treatment. In recent years, a couple of years, we have started to do the reclamation and demineralized water, and we already start doing the municipal water in Vietnam. On the power at the end of 2021, we got 607 equity megawatt that's already have a commercial operation. On top of that, 35 megawatt of solar rooftop under construction. 547 is the figure on the conventional power plant, which we did not have expansion on this category for quite some time. The part that we have been focusing and continue to expand is the renewable energy, especially the solar rooftop. Looking back 3+ years, we get almost 0 megawatt on this category. But today now we have 92 megawatt on hand. 57 already COD, 35 it's under construction. Let's move on to page 41. Page 41, as I mentioned, the volume increase is the key driver of the growth in utilities. And this year, 2022, as the graph, as the bottom slide show, we still have a good demand driver for further growth this year. The block 2 of the IPP in our location, petrochemical, and also demand growth in Vietnam. Okay, on power, 47. On power, as I mentioned, we obtained now 92 megawatt signed PPA. Target this year, we target additional 58 to reach 150 megawatt by the end of the year. On right-hand side is some of the projects that get commissioned in 2021. You will see some of the logo quite familiar. Continental, Honda, that is among the projects that we get completed. Next page would show some of the projects that we get the PPA during 2021. You see the sign Honda here again, Honda Engineering Asia, Honglin, Warner. On the top, Prince Chengshan is the largest solar rooftop project in Asia today, 19.4 megawatt. And on the target on page 50, last year the water we have a sale volume of 135. This year, with the demand driver that I mentioned, we target 153. the power นะครับ 58 megawatt additional that we target for solar this year on top of 642 that we have target is 700. On the digital business, as I mentioned earlier, we now have FTTX cover most of the industrial estate and expand to complete the coverage to all the customers within the industrial estate. Telecom tower is another thing that we think is important infrastructure in terms of digital infrastructure for our customers. Data center, on the contrary, in the past, when we enter into this business, we believe that this is important infrastructure for the customers. But with today situation that more and more players, global scale, mega scale, that coming into Thailand, we know it's because they're contacting us either to buy lands or to have a lease of the building to construct data center. When they are coming, we already see that it's no longer that it becomes a common digital infrastructure that is more suitable to have a global players to operate because they can drive down the cost. And during that process that they're looking at creating a new data center, they also contact us whether we would consider to sell the data center that we have. And with the pricing that they offer, we believe that it would be best value to the investors when we monetize it at the price that they propose. So one data center is already closed. Another one is under process, earmarked to close within the end of this month. So the profit, the result, the gain from sale of these two data centers is expected to be booked in the Q1. Okay. Another thing I would like to touch up on next page is the going forward picture of the digital hubs. In the past, as I mentioned, we invest in the digital infrastructure. But going forward, we're trying to venture into a deeper aspect of digital world. We're trying to bring incremental digital innovation and technologies, both for the each business hub that we have and to create a new business also. On logistics, we're talking AGV smart storage. In industrial development, we're talking smart pole, smart signal and traffic management. Utility and powers, we're talking smart grid, smart water solution, P2P, and on top of everything, the data analytics will be a critical part for the picture of business going forward. On new business, we're also trying to explore many aspects. Digital healthcare, metaverse, electric vehicles are among the aspects that we are exploring. But you will see that it's quite a full plate here in this slide. We are not looking to do everything in this page alone. We have been looking to cooperate, to create a cooperation with startup, with the right partner, with the technology players to create all this to happen. I think that's pretty much the time that I have. Thank you very much, everyone. And if you have any further question, please feel free to drop us a IR team question. We'll try to answer it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.